Hi boys and girls, and I'm back in the repair lair. Let me just start out with a small apology. I haven't had a whole lot of time to make videos. It's kind of like, you know, kind of life situations getting away, and I could have like made a video, but then I get further behind in other things I really need to be doing, like getting other people's radios up and running. So hopefully everybody will understand that, and I just call them life situations. To kind of aggravate that, I'm not making excuses for myself, but yesterday, the New Jersey Antique Radio Club, we had our wintertime repair clinic, and man, it was cold outside. This is how my day got started. We're starting off the day with a nice warm day out. We're gonna have to get a lot of tube radios running today, so help warm everything up. So that's what I had to, that was the weather I was kind of looking at when leaving the house, and typically doesn't get that cold in central New Jersey. I mean, you might get a day or two of that in the winter, and I guess it happened to fall on the day of the repair clinic. I worked on a Zenith radio at the repair clinic that was similar to the one I did a video a little while back on the radio I had when I was a kid. The only difference is it was a turquoise version of that radio. And that radio kind of was beating me up because it had an intermittent bad IF can. Now, the owner of the radio said that it had all the symptoms of silver mica disease. So in other words, it sounded like, even though it was albeit a cold day, but it was a clear day. It wasn't like we had thunder and lightning outside creating a whole bunch of static and all that nonsense. It seemed to be just staticking on its own, and it would do that for me, but it was intermittent. Sometimes it would do it, sometimes it didn't. When I actually tried to check the two IFs with my skill set or whatever, it just kept saying it was good. So I was checking other things that it may have been, like an overcooked resistor or anything that could create a bunch of static. And then normally what I would do is I have here a nut driver, and I would take the top of my nut driver, and while the radio is playing, I would just lightly tap the IF can, and if that was indeed the silver mica problem, then it would just start staticking, but it didn't necessarily do that. So after a couple hours, I just started to go into the IF cans with an alignment tool, and after doing that, the first IF was the culprit. So the owner of the radio, he's getting a really good understanding about silver mica disease. He brought an extra can, and he brought a couple 120 puff caps. I checked them out. They were reading about 124, and that could be tuned up to get around that, and got the radio working. So owner was happy, I was happy, and I came home. But then there was another situation that happened yesterday. One of the other fellows brought in a Philco radio and kind of looked a little bit like this. It's a pretty nice looking radio. I actually have one in the other room, but it's just a case. Looks a little bit like this. I don't know, I forget what they call this. I know they call this the Sunburst or what, but it's from 1952, and this is what followed, or what Philco was making after they made their run of Hippos. This whole thing was kind of given to me. Here's the chassis for that radio. 52-942. I don't know how well that's coming in on the camera, but this is how I got it, except I already pulled most of the tubes out of it. What's nice about this particular radio is it's got a tuned RF, and that can be easily seen by having a 3-gang tuner on here. The tuning string is broken, but it does turn. So what the problem is that the person that brought that radio in, the RF coil was bad. And here, let me show you what the situation is. I have a schematic on my laptop. Let me show you. Okay, what the problem with this radio was, or what was found by the person working on it. So here's your antenna right here. It's got a loop antenna, and it's got a little 4-pin connector to connect the antenna to the radio. Here's your first RF amplifier here for the RF section. It's 7B7 here. And then this guy right here is your RF coil right here. And if you look here, let me zoom this in a little bit so maybe we can see it a little bit better. Or maybe let me try this. That's a little bit better. Okay. The input section of the coil, okay, as you see here, you have, it says here 100 and then 43 here. So this is a resistance. This is supposed to be whoop, didn't mean to do it, sorry about that. This side here is 100 ohms. That's the input side. The output side here is 4.3 ohms. And apparently, what I was told was the 100 ohm side is open. So as a result, the radio is not picking up stations very well at all. Now on this chassis, let me just so you can see it. This is one of the IF coils with the cover off it. This IF coil is missing altogether, and then this right here, this is the RF coil that that fellow's going to need to repair that radio. So before I take this off, I'm going to flip this over and we're going to check it with the ohm meter, make sure it's good, and if it's good, we'll take that off, and I'll probably see him this coming Friday night. We're having our meeting Friday night in Princeton, so I'll be able to hand it off to him and he can install that and get the radio up and running again. Okay, so here's the barometer radio right here, and maybe move this over a little bit. This is the bottom of that RF coil right here. So one side of this thing is 100 ohms, one side of it is one side of it is 4.3 ohms. So let me get this guy in the picture so we can see. There. How about if we do that? There we go. So there's my meter. And let's just start. We'll do one side at a time here. Okay, so, this is, but now I've got another problem. The problem is you can't see it in the camera. There we go. All right, so this is the 4.3 ohm side. And we're getting about 4.5 ohms, so that side's good. Now we got to check the 100 ohm side. And we're getting about 96.2 ohms, so I would say that's probably all right. So I'll just take this out of the chassis and I'll pass that off to the owner of the radio Friday night and get that thing up and running again. So that's bring another radio back to life. Thanks for watching, gang. Sorry I didn't have the time and the opportunity to make a video from the repair clinic. There was some other things going on that was quite cool, including a Philco 60. Someone got working and had to put some electrolytics in it, and apparently the speaker wiring got clipped on it or just snipped, and they just took the opportunity to make a quick connect from that, so in case the radio chassis had to be separated from the speaker, or maybe on a future repair. But even the tar impregnated caps were good on the radio. That was rather impressive. And then there was a couple of European radios getting worked on, and basically a radio from the museum was being refurbished, which was kind of cool. So a lot of radios got fixed yesterday, so it was a good thing and it was a good time. This Friday, there's going to be a meeting of the New Jersey Antique Radio Club in Princeton, New Jersey, on the campus of Princeton University, over Bowen Hall. For more information, or you maybe you don't have to be a New Jersey resident to join our club. By the way, you could be you could live in a Quonset hut in Antarctica and become a member of the club if you'd want to be. So for more information, go to NJARC.org, and you can get some information, more information on maybe membership, or what to get some poke around the club website and get an idea of what the club is like. And also we're half of us are hams, or more than half of us are ham radio operators, so there's a big interest in ham radio. And also we're also a member of the InfoAge Science and History Center, where we have our museum over in Belmar, Wall Township, New Jersey, and that's where the repair clinic was. So you can go to infoage.org for more information. It's not just antique radios, but there's also there's a lot of Army radar history. There's a model railroad train club. There's a computer club. It's just a myriad of different things. Go check it out for yourself. So, till next time, take care. Bye.
Gene Shepard. Who is he?
Would you mind giving me your opinion of Gene Shepard?
No comment.
I don't even know who he is.
How do you fellas feel about Gene Shepard?
Not bad.
Hi, would you mind giving me your opinion of Gene Shepard?
Don't get near me.
Do you like Gene Shepard?
The Lord is my shepherd.